So it seems to be a bit of a pandemic out here right now, y'all. For men in particular. And I touched on this in my last video as well. Sorry if y'all catch me like rubbing my eye during this video, but this allergy season has been the most disrespectful allergy season I have ever been in. But it seems to be a bit of a pandemic going on right now. And I just watched a YouTube video, and that's what prompted me to make this video. And I'm getting ready to go to bed, so that's why I'm not fully beat, face not beat, makeup not popping, no necklaces on. Matter of fact, I gotta take my rings off because I'm about to go to bed. No, let me I'll wait till I'm done this video. But um, there's a bit of a pandemic, and men are starting to voice their concern for it being so hard to find a woman to be with, because women are opting out of being with somebody they would rather be alone. And I'm seeing this in the dating apps. Like, as I'm dating these different dating, as I'm talking with these different men, um, you can hear like the desperation in their voice, in their profiles on their dating apps, especially the white guys. My God, I have never been approached or even like photos likes by so many white guys in my life. Like, white guys are literally probably the loneliest race right now. I kid you not. It's insane. It's insane. However, I watched a video and it talked about this, and I wanted to make this video just to kind of put my 2 cents in there, not to laugh at men, but to put into perspective of the amount of power as a woman my black and brown sisters have. Even if you have kids like me, I'm a single mom of 3. So let me do my spiel for my intro. For those of you that are new to this channel, I am Kimberly Ann. You have just entered the Rose Garden. I make videos for black and brown sisters and women all around the world. I'm not saying that other races are not welcome to this platform. However, I am literally thinking about my black and brown sisters like myself, because our struggles unfortunately are a little bit different from the Caucasian counterparts and our Indian counterparts, even though they are brown too. Um, and our Chinese, Asian, Pacific Islanders, the struggles is a little bit different. So my videos are coming from my perspective, being an urban brown sister, okay, grown up in the hoods of Cleveland, okay, grew up on Superior, and I've dealt with different men. I've had failed relationships, 3 of them, okay, over the last 14 years, because my oldest is 14. So I make these videos to give out tips and tricks, lessons that I've personally learned. So all this information that I give is coming from my perspective, and it's in their personal accounts. I have 3 daughters and 4 nieces. I want these videos to be available to them when they begin to date, and they can take things that they, learn and see in these videos, and they can apply them to life. But I also want for more of my black or brown sisters to also be able to apply things that I share in these videos to your life. Okay. Also, an announcement. I am happily working on an amazing digital product that I will be releasing in June. I am going to be working on it all May and half of June, so I'll release it probably about the middle of June. I also am going to be launching the website at that same time as well. And this inspiration truly was given to me by the divine, to so much so that when I went into work the night after I actually started my digital product, my digital course that I'm creating for my black and brown sisters, that one of the symbols that I'm using throughout the entire project, and it actually is the title of the project, I walked into the jail And they were plastered all over the walkway into the jail where we go in it. I mean, there had to be hundreds of them. And I was like, you know what, Spirit? I get the message. Don't stop. I get the message. I get the message. Don't stop. I got you. Loud and clear. I see it. So, if you like it here so far, you like my energy, we vibing, we here. Hit subscribe, give me a thumbs up, leave me a beautiful comment if you wish. It's up to you, boo. But this is a safe space. Welcome to the Rose Garden. I'm dating. I just started back dating in January for marriage, and I am so happy I made that choice to stop trying to create this version woman of myself that um is trying to put herself at a certain status to be accepted. That's literally what I was doing. I literally made the conscious decision to just stop one day. I said, I'm done. And it's so funny. When I made that conscious decision, I was not going to do it again, do my event anymore, because of the energy that I was doing it from, the where I was doing it from. A place of, it wasn't a place of purpose. It was from a place of anger. It was from a place of um, trying to get validation. It was, and it was an unconscious place. I didn't really realize it till after I was done and after I had expended so much energy, time, and money. When I realized that I did that too much in my business, I also ended a relationship, and I can't call it a relationship because we really was never together. I ended a situationship that I had been in. That was a little bit hard for me to shake, only because of the history that me and that person shared. And I had realized all that I can do energy, overdo, over this and that. I did it in my business. I did it in that relationship. I said, you know what, I'm done. I left the relationship. I left the business all behind in 2024. And it was the best decision that I ever made in my life. So, today's video, I want to touch on a pattern that I'm seeing in regards to men. Especially with me being back on the dating scene. I'm dealing with different men in dating apps, even these men at work. Child, I'm seeing this pattern of, I think men are starting to realize we're not so eager to keep dealing with their BS. We're okay with being single, okay? but and I was at that point. I was there, especially when I was in my hustle and bustle. I was like, yeah, I'm this, I'm strong, I was there. Don't get me wrong, I was there, my black and brown sisters. I was there, Ashley. I was there, Nikki. Okay, I was there. Okay, but we need men. Men need us. And until somebody decides, hey, I'm going to stop and I'm going to heal, because I want the universe to start mirroring back to me the desires of my heart. But in order for the universe to mirror it back to me, I have to open my heart up, and I have to be ready to be exposed. I have to be ready to have accountability. I have to be ready to be vulnerable. Okay? And in order for me to get mirrored back, not just from regular environments, work, school, your friends, no, but from a partner, I have to open up. I have to be more vulnerable. I have to I have to pull down those walls, so that therefore the universe can see my heart, to be able to grant me the desires of it. Don't nobody know what you're thinking until you open your mouth. Won't nobody know what your heart wants until you open it. Men are not mind readers. However, back to the point that I was trying to prove before I got into that little spiel. The patterns that I'm starting to see, and I don't know if this is because I've changed how I approach love that I'm seeing this. Men are starting to realize they're really starting to become desperate for a real relationship. I'm seeing it in their dating profiles. Men, they're writing like, listen, I don't want to deal with this, that, and I am here. I want a real relationship. I want to get married. I am looking for my person. I cannot tell y'all how many times I'm seeing that. I literally just watched a video which prompted me to make this video. I wish I knew that young lady's name. I didn't even look at her name because the video caught me so quick. I just was like, oh my God, this is so serious. Like, people are noticing. And it was a white guy at the beginning of her video, literally damn near in tears. And he's like, I did not think it was so normal for a person. He's like, I think he said he was 27 or something like that. He's like, and I know I'm a good person. I didn't think it was normal for anyone to be single for 4 years. Like, he's like literally in tears since he's been single for 4 years. He's like, I keep getting turned down. He's like, I know I'm a great person. I have my shit together. He's like, and I can't find my person. He's like, I can't find a spouse. And I'm like, ooh, like I felt his heart. I felt that man's heart. He was being as transparent as he could be with his little itty bitty heart. And I felt for him. I did. I really did. Then there was a Jamaican guy on there. Uh, I'm seeing it in the dating apps. When I say I'm so speechless about this, and that's why I want to get in here and talk about it. One, because I want to put into perspective, especially for my black and brown women. Stop thinking that men are scarce. It's not that men are scarce. It is the type of man that you keep trying to go after that is in scarcity. You keep trying to go after what everybody seems to deem as the top-notch guy, the thug, the dope boy, the nigga with all the tech. You keep trying to pick that simpleton, and you keep getting played. 9 times out of 10, the dope boy, the simpleton, the jock. The dope boys are like the jocks in high school. The college, the football star. That's what dope boys are on the street, right? To me. And they're fun. Don't get me wrong. They're fun. I had my fun with mine, but I'm done. Because I want something more real. You dig? Had my fun. Done. But they're fun. However, they have a roster. You don't want to be on it. But there are other men out here who, at one point in time, I'm sure they were doing stuff similar to the dope boys, similar to the players, okay? And I guarantee you those dope boys and players are going to fucking wake up and be in the same boat. I promise you. These guys are starting to realize that us women are totally okay with not dealing with the BS and just kicking it alone. However, as I've said, I believe I said, we need men, men need us. And in order for relationships to work, both parties are going to have to start being vulnerable. Not just because it was at one point the women were crying. Now the men are crying. So maybe this is a good transition we're kind of going through where, the men are following suit and they're opening up too. However, it's going to take both sides some time to heal. It's going to take both sides having to be vulnerable in order for things to really work. The moment I changed my internal environment was the moment I got to start seeing the vulnerability of the men around me. Okay? And I'm so proud I did. But when I tell you these poor guys is out here they are so thirsty for a spouse. I will say this, ladies, still be choosy who you decide to date. Still be choosy. Do not. Just because you know this information that guys are really desperate. And also, open up your horizons to who you want to date. Don't just be stuck to one type of guy. Open up your heart and your mind to be able to accept different type of guys, and then your prospects, your roster can grow. And I hate calling it a roster, but everybody needs to rotationally date. Everybody needs to rotationally date. I'm sorry. Until you and a person sit down and create a verbal agreement on an exclusive relationship, rotationally date. And when it's time to be exclusive, like, I hate how guys feel like because they've reached out to you and asked you for their number, now you're theirs. Like, that's one of the things that I kind of don't understand. I started not accepting those type of guys. So now, because I've shown the universe that I don't accept those type of invitations to a relationship, to a connection, now I'm starting to get the guys that understand. Not to mention, I changed my approach. I start telling guys off rip when they say, "What are you looking for?" Babe, I'm rotationally dating for marriage. Right off rip, I come straight out the gate with that. Straight out the gate. So then they know, like, okay, well, she, for one, she for sure herself, because she has no problem telling me there's other people. And I kid you not, guys are so turned on by that. It's like their competition gene just kicks on her. Like, oh, Return of the Titans. They like, she got Nick, man. Who else want? I'm gonna fight for this one. I promise you. I promise you. Ladies, stop being so fearful of what could happen and just focus on who you are, the version of yourself that you would be in that perfect relationship, and embody it. I cannot stress how important it is to embody the type of woman you will be in a relationship. Baby, if you're going to be luxurious and beautiful in a relationship, baby, be luxurious and beautiful right now. I feel the prettiest now than I ever have felt in years. And I am the oldest. I am. I was today years old when I felt this beautiful. When I started dating before my oldest, I didn't feel like this. I didn't look like this. I didn't feel like this. I promise you. Even though people thought I was pretty, I didn't feel it. And that is the difference between then and now. And I promise you, I allowed, and I said this in my last video, I allowed my ex-husband to take me off that app super fast. But that was because I was so insecure. I love the space that I'm in. And I want my black and brown sisters to love the space that you're in. Find something to have gratitude for. Every morning you wake up, find 5 things you can be thankful for. I don't care if it's each finger on your damn hand. I'm grateful for my thumb. I'm grateful for my index finger. I'm grateful for my middle finger because it flick everybody the fuck off who I can't stand. I'm grateful for my ring finger. Even though ain't no ring on it yet, Lord, it is still beautiful. And I'm grateful for it because I got a finger for a man to put a ring on. And I'm grateful for my pinky finger because it looks good when I act like Austin Powers. Be grateful. Just be grateful, okay? Be grateful. But I'm telling y'all, ladies, I want y'all to stop thinking that men is scarce. They are not. It is a abundance of single men out here because, one, there are a lot of women that are opting out of dating. So if there are less women to date and to play with, that means men have to step their freaking game up to be the right kind of men they need to be to date women who are actually ready to be in real relationships. What men can't stand right now is they can no longer mask the BS that they've been feeding us for the last umpteen hundred years. They can't mask that no more. You can't. Because one, we're not dependent upon them for finances. Hell, we don't even got to depend upon them for ding-a-ling. We can buy dildos and all that stuff. We don't even have to depend upon them for that. We don't have to depend upon them to fix things. While we make enough money, we can hire somebody to do it. Okay? We don't even have to depend upon them for companionship. Like, they literally have websites and phone call centers out here where we can call just to talk to somebody, or we have enough friends we can call and talk to them. Okay, and let's not get on, we have gay best friends, our gay guys that we love to talk to, okay, who give us better advice than anybody in this world. So men are starting to see like, oh we gotta fix this, we gotta fix this. But I want to tell you, ladies, in order for a man to fix things, or any men within your environment to fix things, you got to work on yourself internally, bring your energy back to you, feel how you feel in front of any and every guy you are around, and allow your external environment to mirror back to you what your internal environment is now feeling. Okay? So I didn't want to make this too long. I just wanted to say that spiel because tonight at my friend's birthday party, by the way, happy birthday, Keish. Love you, baby. You looked so beautiful tonight. So beautiful tonight, girl. Um, I was at a bar at the bar with her, and a 52, 53-year-old guy. First off, his pickup line was whack. He said to me, "Oh, do you miss me?" And I looked at him and was like, "I'm supposed to miss you?" And he was like, "Yeah, you miss me, don't you?" I said, "What is it I'm missing?" He was like, "I don't know though." I love how they try to do that reverse psychology bullshit. I don't, and I wish they would stop. It doesn't work. Not on me anyway. And he was like, "I don't know." He's like, "I'm scared." He's like, "I done been done so wrong by so many women, and I just don't want to be hurt no more." And excuse me, I'm fearful, I've been done so wrong. He like, "But you know what though?" He like, "How old is you? You look young." And I was like, "How old you think I am?" He was like, 33. And I was like, higher. He was like, "No, no, no way." I said, "Yeah, I'm 38." He was like, "No, you ain't." He like, "I'm a 52-year-old man. You couldn't handle me. I'm near." He like, "And when I love hard." I was like, "Okay, but you just let me pay for my drinks." But I didn't say that part, but I was just looking at it in my head. I'm like, "You just let me pay for my drinks. You're definitely a fearful man." So, and my drinks were only $4 because I only drink mocktails. So the lady gave me two for $4. Okay. So he takes his phone and he slides it across the bar to me. And he was like, "But you know what? I want you. I want you, slide it." I was like, "Sir, I'm gonna have to pass." And I slid that mug right back to that ass. You heard me? And he was like, "What?" I was like, "I'm gonna pass." "Really?" I was like, "And let me tell you why, babe." And I touched his arm and I said, "You opened up the conversation with your fears. I am not gonna bandage that shit up." He was like, "Oh, you know what?" He was like, "Damn, you a smart one." The fact that he realized what the fuck he did, sir, you knew what you were doing from the beginning of the conversation. And so then he goes to start talking and he loves to overtalk. I peeped that off rip. And he messed up and called his sister a bitch to me. And he was like, he's like, "I want to find real love, da 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 da." And I said, "Well, sir, stop trying to find it in bars." He's like, "You know what? My sister said the same thing. That bitch smart as hell." I said, "Oh, oh, you called your sister a sir." I said, "Stop calling her that. That's your sister." He like, a bitch a female dog. You know that, right?" Yes, sir. I know that. I know that. But that's your sister. "Well, no, we ain't saying it like that or whatever, but it mean female dog." Honestly, I think he was drunk. He's like, but save, it's just a term. I said, no, you could never. No. My youngest child's father liked to use that, and I would shut him down every time. Do not call me that. That's another reason why I had to get rid. You can't call me that. I am not that. Play with them other hoes you got in your roster. They okay with you calling them that. Don't call me that. That's why you've been kicked out. So the old man goes on to say, he was like, if I was fucking a girl and y'all okay and we calling y'all that. I said, sir, I'm done with this conversation. He like, oh, yeah, you one of them smart ones. I was so nice to turn around, looked at my friend. I said, why y'all ain't save me from this motherfucker? She was like, I'm sorry, friend. I looked at her brother like, why you ain't say nothing? He was like, I thought you knew the nigga. No. He was like, you want to sit down? I said, not next to him. He was like, oh, babe, I got you. Come over here. You can sit in my seat and I'll sit between y'all. Thank you. But I'm noticing these guys are like desperate, slow. You got to pick them wisely, ladies. But open up your horizons. I have four guys on my May roster that I really like. And within the dating apps, oh my God, I can't even. Waiting in queue. So these are guys that I've actually, they've liked mine and I matched with them. I have about 78. And I've got those over the last week. Um, in my messages, I have people that I've actually responded to. I have about 50. That's just in one app. That's in Black. In the other apps, I have, oh my God, about 25 white guys trying to talk to me in Bumble. Is it Bumble? Yeah, in Bumble. I have about 25 white guys trying to talk to me right now in Bumble. And they're actually really handsome white guys, really handsome white guys, all with careers. And the black guys that I have liked, a lot of them are business owners. The ones that I'm talking to now, business and property owners. When I tell you I'm so selective, I'm so super selective. Conversation got to be right. What you want in a relationship got to be right, and you have to match some of my core values. I literally recreated my list of core values today. But I'm gonna say that for another video. So that's in my spiel. I was supposed to have been in this 7 minutes ago, but it's okay. But yeah, ladies, stop thinking that love and all that shit is scarce. It is not scarce. It's not. Your perspectives and how many men is out here available for you today is not limited. Men are actually starting to wake up and realize that the BS that they're doing is going to cost them to be alone. They are starting to realize that. And there's a lot of men who are seeing their fathers go into nursing homes alone. And none of the women they played with are even coming to take care of them. And that's why a lot of these men say, I'll get used more money on. But you put yourself in that position to be used because you're trying to use that woman. You thought she was stupid. A lot of them women that are playing dumb, they're not dumb. They're playing dumb because they know if they play dumb, you're going to break down your walls. So one day, I pray in the near future, before we end up becoming AI boyfriend and girlfriends, one day I pray that we have a moment of transparency between males and females, especially within our black and brown communities. That is what I'm praying for, a moment of transparency. It is so needed in our community. It's not funny. To where men can voice what they need and desire within a relationship without dragging someone through a 20-year long BS ass relationship and using up somebody's youth. And then women can voice and say exactly what they need and want in a relationship before they drag any man through a 20-year long relationship. Because there's, just like there's men dragging women, there are women dragging men. It is an equal balance here. But what I am praying for, and I pray it comes soon, I feel like it will eventually. I feel like we're kind of leaning towards that. I'm praying that when both sides start voicing what they desire up front in these connections, that both sides also listen and both sides also open up their heart to receive that information and figure out whether they want to be that safe space for their partner or not. That is what I'm praying for. And I know it's coming. I feel it in my world, in my reality, because the men that I have been attracting, they're very communicative. I mean, we laugh, we talk about a lot of stuff, ask a lot of questions. Um, Babe, did you make it home? Like, they're always, did you make it home? Are you good? And I love that. I love that. Like, I'm ready for men to take their place and be those providers and protectors and allow us women to be the passenger princesses. No, no, I'm just kidding. But allow us women to be those nurturing queens that we are. So then when you come home from work, babe, I can massage you down. Baby, here's your food. I want to be that type of woman. But at the same time, I want my man to be like, babe, if you want to go run that business, baby, go run that business. But don't forget, you my wife. You my queen. When you come home, take that hat off. Leave that hat in the car, baby. Be a woman in this house. I'm ready for men to create that type of space where women feel safe enough to be women. And I know it's coming in our black and brown communities. I know it is. I hope I get to contribute. I hope I touch at least about 100 people for real. By the end of 2025, I'm praying I touch about 100 people through these videos, through YouTube. I'm praying I do because I'm touching myself every day. I promise you, not in that way. Get your head out the gutter. But thank you for tuning in and sitting with the Rose Garden. I'm Kimberly Ann. I'm your wonderful host. It brings me such love and joy to bring you guys these videos. And I hope this helps all of you. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.